Hey, you know what? Like, we got it.
We got it. I'm just going to turn the comments off because they're coming over your beautiful face, and we all need to see how beautiful you are.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Yeah. This is your first live, right? So I feel very honoured. It's like, is this thing on? Thank you so much for joining. I was just saying to people that have hopped on, this is Simone 7, so we hope to inspire, connect, and of course have a laugh. And I think we've had a laugh already this morning. Yeah, because we're both blonde, not so good with technology, but that's okay. I know. Are you freaking out? Mine's literally like grey.
I'm not grey out because I've seen it before. But what's funny is that they're like alfalfa sprouts. They're like,
it's like you're like. Ah!
Totally.
I'm gonna be a fangirl because I'm such a huge fan of you. I've been saying to people all weekend that apart from being like ridiculously, stunningly beautiful and having a crazy career, you're like the most humble, ego-free person that I know, and you use your platform for wonderful things, obviously, to bring attention to all the issues that we have with the climate, and I just think you're an amazing person. So I'm so honoured that you have chosen to do your first live with me.
Love you.
But I thought this would be a wonderful chance for you to really tell us about all the wonderful things that you're doing. But so really quick, I know. I think you're like, oh, I'll bring some sugar. Was it? What do you want to bring?
Think of anything, like you were like products from. So I was like, it's heavy, out of it, and so
why not? It's good. It replaces a kettlebell, but the only thing is it may explode. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so tell me, and everyone that's joined, how are you feeling during these uncertain times, and what are you doing to practice self-care?
I mean, I'm going to be really honest, that's the way to go here. I've been good, but I've had my down days or down moments. I've been, I think it's because of the uncertainty and the level of suffering that's going on and lack of clarity, somewhat because they don't actually know and somewhat maybe because they're not saying completely. If I think too far out in the future or I think about the people that are suffering, then I can get spiraled very quickly. But most of the time, if I stay in the now, the present, and stay really focused on what's right here in front of me, I can stay positive and then be of service, to the greater good of the planet when I'm in that space. If I'm not in that space, then I can't help anybody, not even myself. I'm pretty pathetic. Yeah. I find that just kind of staying in gratitude for what is really here is really the key for me. And meditation, a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, a lot of just stepping outside and taking a deep breath, because we're really lucky to be in California and have a little bit of space. Yeah. And doing simple things, I think everybody right now needs connection, and so doing stuff like that and connecting with friends and family and old schoolmates, and been writing my grandma letters because quarantined in an assisted living and she can't always get to her phone. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to write to her. And she loved it.
I'm sure. It's like old school.
I love getting cards. So
yeah. Socks.
My cards. So,
yeah.
Just obviously baking a lot like everybody else, and cuddling the dogs, reading, coloring, creative, but at the same time, I'm trying not to judge myself of too much. Like, there's all this pressure to learn a language or, write the great novel. Mm-hmm. I think just right now, this is something we've never experienced. So just being is and doing the daily being is about as good as it gets. And then trying to be of service by calling someone or donating money or whatever.
Yeah. This leads perfectly into the next question, which is, what have you discovered about yourself during this time of stillness? Because we are practicing a lot of stillness right now, which is challenging. You know?
Yeah. And it's funny. I'm not like having these massive aha, like, wow, I didn't know that about myself, because I've spent a lot of time trying to get to know myself. And I think at my age, I hope that somewhat know who you are. But one of the things I've discovered during this time is that I'm normally like a black t-shirt, jeans, or white t-shirt, jeans, and I don't know what the deal is, but I've gone complete opposite. Like, I'm wearing as bright a color.
Tie-dye.
I wear socks. Like, I think I need I love color anyway, but I just don't normally wear a bunch of it. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, how many different colors can I see? Rainbow bright.
I saw you meditating the other day with the socks. What are the socks about? The bright, colorful socks.
I've been wearing all these funny, silly socks, and those socks in particular say, I'm a delicate effing flower. True, I'm a very sensitive person, so crazy, psychedelic colors like this.
Yeah, I hear tie-dye's coming back in fashion. I was like, is that...
When I went to one of my grocery store runs, I bought some egg dye, and I was like, you know what, I bet this will work for a t-shirt. So me and my 2 stepdaughters were going to tie-dye some stuff.
Oh, cute. Yeah. It's like, use it for Easter, and then the leftovers can do some fabulous tie-dye.
For Easter, I couldn't even be bothered for Easter. Sorry, I just couldn't, Easter was one of those holidays, in quarantine, everything kind of, I can't even imagine, how these kids are doing with, graduation, and people getting married, and everything kind of has to go on the back burner.
Yeah. Yes, it's a really great lesson, as you said, in just learning to be present and be in the moment. And I think, as a generation, we're so busy about being productive and doing and getting results and gratification, and there's none of that right now. It's just like, be still, be here, be present.
Yeah, that's why I said that pressure to learn a language or read that book or do that project. It's like, that's all great, and if you can do that, that's amazing. But I think it takes a lot of work to just stay present right now and eat 3 meals, do a little exercise, take care of the people around you, clean your house, try not to get pessimistic or crazy. This is a pandemic. It's not like, we're all just off on summer holiday.
Mm. What does your health and wellness routine look like now, then, in this
situation? I have, like I said, I pray and meditate every morning. I have my 1 cup of espresso.
Yeah.
I try to eat really well, but I'm also not policing myself. If I want to have a handful of M&Ms, I'm going to have them. And I'm going to turn it's a little dark. And what else? I'm exercising 5 days a week, and I'm lucky because, I have your app, and I have many years of a yoga practice, and I also have a stationary bike, and I can also, like I said, I'm in California, so I can walk, move around a little, but I try to do that 5 days a week and then take the weekend off.
Yeah. I did the same last week, and I was like, I woke up this morning, and my husband's like, do you want to go for a hike? I was like, no, it's the weekend. I've been working out, Monday to Friday. I want to have the weekend off, rather than...
Gentle. I say gentle. I just don't think any of us have experienced it, and there's a sense of global grief, and yet there's something really positive that could come out of all of this. The world could be a better place if we take this opportunity to change inward, but also like the environment is getting an amazing opportunity the earth is getting to breathe right now.
And that's what I wanted to bring this morning. I was like, I can't wait to get into discussion with you about this, because I know the next question is what motivates you, and I know very much in really trying to be, of service. And I know you've joined up with, is it Fire Drill Friday, and you're doing, and didn't you get arrested or something for Jane Fonda? I was like, oh. But the one positive to come out of all of this is, yes, that we will, the saying that you wake up to LA and there's not smog anymore, and China they can see for the first time, and all of the wonderful things that are happening to the planet because we're not out there exposing it to all the things that, humans do to destroy it. So I will put it over to you. But
yeah, it's been, I think, an amazing gift for the planet, but for us to see what happens when we slow down and step back from doing, getting. The earth gets a chance to breathe and regenerate, and also we as humans get to stop doing and be human being, rather human doing.
Human, yeah.
People have really grasped a sense of community because of that, and not everybody. There's a lot of people who are acting crazy about it, but in general, I think there's an overwhelming sense of how much we need each other, and how good it's been to kind of quiet down. Even though we've had a lot of heartache, losing a lot of lives here, the flip side is that people have kind of come together, and the planet, like you said, yes, the air has cleared. I think LA was considered, at least last week, was considered the cleanest big city air quality on the planet right at this moment. And then, you look at like India, they couldn't see the Taj Mahal clearly. It was all kind of like smoggy. They can see it perfectly and beautifully. And yeah, China looks completely different. And the data is there, the science is there. And I just really hope that, I'm not going to count on this administration in the United States, but I'm going to count on the people of the United States and the people around the world to demand that we continue to take care of our planet, and and that we, even though this is a big deal, this pandemic, and there's people suffering, the planet has been suffering, and we've been suffering, and they know there's a link between all of this. So climate change is real, and I'm really hoping that we take this opportunity to instill new practices personally, but also within each government, and elect people who care.
Yeah. Well, when we had the Australian fires, I grew up in Australia, grew up in Melbourne, and so I did a charity for there's people who are watching, listen, to raise money for the Australian fires, and you were the only one that stood up and said, let me match dollar for dollar for everything that you make to send to the Red Cross. So that was also such a special thing that you did, and I just wanted to shout out and just say that you don't just talk about things, you actually follow up, and you're committed to what you believe in. So that was really special time, and I appreciate you for that.
Anytime.
All right. So now that we're older, if we were to go back and speak to your 20-year-old self, what would you say to her?
I think I would just tell her to lighten up a little bit and have more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I think I was really serious. I was working, and I think that's right when I hit my...
Life's more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been so successful on so many covers of Vogue. You've done hits, you've done Revenge, you've done so many TV and movies. What does success, and from all of that experience, what does success look like to you?
What is,
speak up.
Oh, that's good though. He's gloved up and he's got his mask on. Drop something. It's okay. We'll wait. Success to me looks like, just having a peaceful home, really, having my family together, and knowing I have friends I can count on, and that they can count on me, and just knowing I have support. I think success really for me is more about, like, am I a success as a person, not monetarily. At the end of the day, that's what I'll hold on to for my life, not, fortune and all that kind of stuff. That won't be what, you don't take that with you. So it's really, how was I loved, and do I love in return, and how did I love in return and treat others. And I think that's the biggest success. You have a good cheerleading squad.
Yeah. I think that I was just thinking, my mind went somewhere then, but when you were like, human being, not human doing, like, you should trademark that. That needs to be a t-shirt.
From some, that's like,
I love it. Where have you got it from? I love it.
Definitely not mine.
You should put it on a tie-dyed t-shirt.
Yes, I should. I will.
On socks, tie-dyed socks. All right, last question's a silly one. If you were to be, this doesn't really make sense right now, because it's like, if you're at home, in a pandemic, or if you're on a deserted island, what would be the 3 things that you would take with you?
Something to distill fresh water.
Good, yeah.
Something to clean water.
Yeah.
Something to build shelter, like some tools.
Yeah.
Like a friend or a family member, because I don't want to be alone.
Alone, yeah.
I don't care about music. You make your own music. I mean,
exactly.
Figure out how to play the coconuts or something.
Yeah. I know. I like that one. And also, like, if you had to take 3 people with you, or like if you could have a dinner party and invite any 3 people in the world, who would that be? I'm putting you on the spot now.
That's a good one. I definitely want Jesus and Buddha.
Very cool.
But I need a woman. Well, Oprah would be fun, because she can delegate and ask really good questions.
She could interview Jesus and Buddha. She could be in between them.
Like my mom, even though my mom's alive. Who else? Someone really funny. We need a comedian.
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, there you go.
It would be a party.
Crazy party.
Nelson Mandela would be cool.
Yeah.
Interesting, thoughtful people, and I feel like they all had a good sense of humor.
Yeah, you have to, and especially at a time like this, you have to have a sense of humor. Otherwise, all right. So this is basically for people who are joining in. They get to do a 7-minute circuit. So I'll put the timer on. We'll do 7 moves, and they're just 60 seconds each.
Oh God.
Okay. So this is just to prove that when you go at home and you're going crazy, that you really can work out with anything. So.
Okay.
Sure it is. All right, let's start our timer. We're just going to start. Ooh, I think I've cut my head off. Hang on. I'm not very good at this either. There we go. All right. You're going to just lift this above your head. So we're just going to do overhead with your sugar, up and down. Yeah, so you're activating your biceps and your shoulder and your chest. What, have you been baking? Have you made any cakes?
I've made so many things. I've made a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Made banana bread. I made regular bread. French bread. What else? I've made a lot of savory things too.
Yeah. We've been making like carrot cake. Something against humanity.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
That's really fun.
We played Uno, but I did one round.
Good. 18 more seconds. Deep squat down. Engage that posterior chain on the way back up. Down and up. Down and up. 4 more seconds. Good. All right, now you're going to bring one leg in front. You're going to do like a reverse lunge. You're going to hold your sugar and you're going to twist over your front leg. So you bring your arms out to the front and you twist over, so you're working into your obliques. Ooh, mama. And out and in.
Feels good.
Yeah. As I nearly fall over. This is actually challenging.
I know my floor is nice and slippery, so I'm like getting double workout here.
I think the aim is that you don't actually get any of the sugar on the floor.
Nope, I've got it closed with a rubber band, so hopefully.
Good, you got 18 more seconds and then we have to do it on the other side. Whew, don't forget to breathe. Go low in that squat. Make sure that knee's going over that ankle. And one more. Good, rest, roll those shoulders. Swap over to the other side. Be nice and steady. Knee over ankle. Pull a nice neutral spine. Draw that navel to spine. Extend those arms out to shoulder height. Cross over the body. 1. 2. Some more sirens. 3. 4. Working into those obliques.
Much tighter this side.
Yeah. Whew. Let's do 3 more. Ready and go. 3 and 2 and last one. 1. Good. Take a rest. Roll those shoulders. This one you're going to come down, just now externally rotate into a deep sumo squat. And we're just going to do a little bicep curl. So you're just going to curl up and down. And we go up and down. 2.
Anyone comes down and sees me, they're like, what the
They're going to think you're a weirdo. They're like, what is she doing? What's happened? She's gone mad.
She's lost it.
I know. Well, last week I did this. I had Kelly LeBeck on. She was using peanut butter jars. So,
hey, whatever works.
Use what you got.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. Let's do 4 more. And we go 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Come up and rest. We've got one more exercise. We're going to do a little wood chop, so we're going to go side to side, stand, feet hip width distance apart, soften those knees. We're just going to cross the body and we'll just go up and down. And then we'll do 10 reps on this side and switch over 10 reps on the other. And then we're done. Ready? And we go up 1 and 2, 3. 4.
This would be good for my non-existent golf swing.
Playing golf at home. Invisible golf.
I don't even know how to play golf.
No. My hand-eye coordination is terrible. It's never been great. Swap to the other side. Keep those hips still. And 1. Cross it over. And 2.
Well, that ball is very small.
3. Thank you for supporting me on that one. But even tennis, I'm terrible at tennis.
I just think like a dog. Chase the ball.
Let's do 3 more. 3, we're nearly there. And 2. And last one. And 1. Good job. Anyone who is using a kettlebell or weights at home, you will have really felt that. And thank you for being such a good sport and doing the workout with your sugar. And thank you for joining me. Wishing you the best week. But is there anything you want to share before we go?
Just everybody stay safe, stay home, and take care of each other. And thank you for having me, Simone. I love you.
Of course. Love you too. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.